Thank you for joining us. Remember to turn on the notification bell. Hello, everybody. My name is Luis Enrique Vanegas. I'm from TOMi.digital, and I'm here to help you use TOMi.digital and become that innovative teachers that attract students, that engages students to their learning process, and that teacher that is prepared for what is coming in the future. So today we're going to have a very interesting workshop that actually makes part of another interesting strategy that I want to share with you just before everything else, because this is a very special invitation that I want to do to you that are here watching this video. So at the moment we are running oh shoot sorry at the moment we are running a challenge. All right, so the challenge is very simple. Basically, if you are located in Africa at the moment or India, in these two territories, this challenge is for you. Basically, what you need to do is to go to TOMi.digital, to our platform, register for the platform, and start creating lessons in the platform. How? Don't worry, I got you covered. I'm gonna show you how. Uh, and what you're gonna get after you have created just three different lessons is that we are going to grant you pro access to the platform. How cool is that? All right. So you're going to be able to use all the different features that we allow the pro access users in the platform, and you're going to be able to get the maximum of the platform and to use the platform for your needs, for your specific needs. The platform actually runs on a free account for everybody. There's many different things that you can do with a free account, but definitely if you get a pro access account, you're going to be able to do many more things. All right, so as simple as that, just go to TOMi.digital, create your lessons, and after three lessons, we're going to make sure that you get this pro access. How are we going to know that you have created those lessons? So that's definitely, I know that you have that in your mind. So basically, just go down here in the description of this video on YouTube or on Facebook. You're gonna find the link to register for the challenge. All right. So you just need to go there, register for the challenge. Just basically enter your personal information and say that you want to make part of this challenge, and that's it. You're now part of it, and you can now just go to TOMi.digital and start creating your lessons. If you are already registered in the platform, just make sure that you create three more lessons during the period of the challenge, which is a couple of weeks starting this week, and you're going to be able to get the pro access. All right, actually, the workshop today is based on the difference between the pro access and the free access. All right, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So you're going to be able, after this workshop, you're going to be able to recognize those elements that you're going to get for being a pro user. Everybody can get a pro user account just by going to Go Pro, the banner on top of the screen. I'll show you in a moment, and just pay a very low fee, which is $2.99 per month. All right, it's not very expensive anyway. It's definitely something that a lot of teachers will be interested in, and it's something that is going to give you a lot of different possibilities. So let's get into business. Let me just show you. I'm going to share my screen and start showing you what you're going to be able to get. All right, so over here, you get the home of our platform. Remember that you just need to go to TOMi.digital on top on the browser's search bar. You can find the the address TOMi.digital, and it's gonna take you here. All right. I always like to show a little bit of what it looks like, what the home looks like, because this home actually shows you everything you need to know when you get to the platform. All right, so there's something that it's definitely interesting for a lot of people. We are including AI in our lessons, so you are now able to create lessons using AI. It's crazy easy. It's just quick. You're going to be able to create a lesson on any topic in about 3 minutes. All right. So it's let's say it's the beginning of a lesson. That's what I like to see. It's important to recognize that artificial intelligence is not here to replace us, but it's just here to give us more possibilities. So after you have created this, you have used this artificial intelligence to create a lesson. So I would say it's just the basis for a lesson that you're going to make your own lesson. So it's going to give you some ideas, it's going to give you some possibilities, but you always get the possibility to enter more resources to reorganize them, to maybe correct some information and make sure that that lesson is actually yours and it's going to be useful for you and for your students. So that's the first thing. Just check it out. It's definitely very interesting. There's other things that you can do with the TOMi.digital platform. So it's there's a lot of gamification here. So teaching by playing, contests, badges, podiums, and many different characteristics typical of competition, healthy competition anyway, that is going to give your students that special element that is going to take us to engage a little bit more with their class and therefore to engage with their learning process. You can evaluate the effectiveness of your students in every lesson. You can use it anywhere, even without an internet connection, and that's something that not a lot of platforms can offer you. Um, you can encourage reviewing your students. There's a platform that it belongs to TOMi.digital, in which students are going to be able to review those topics that they are not very well prepared for or that they did not do very well in the last period, the last term. So they're going to be able to see to study with TOMi.digital there. You can share asynchronous activities, meaning that you can schedule your lessons for later, for homework, for the weekend, for individual processes, for autonomous learning. Anything you decide is necessary. Promotes group dynamics. Definitely a good way to do some teamwork and prepare your students for working in a group and working with other people collaboratively. And definitely one of my favorites, it includes feedback and it asks you continuously to include feedback on every one of the resources that you use for the platform. Here's an overview of the different possible lessons that you're going to find in the platform. There's a lot of Spanish one, but there's also a lot of English ones. Just a matter of entering accessing the platform, you'll see what you can get there. And the stars of our show, the teachers. So the teacher Elmer Alexander Garcia Portillo from Salvador, with more than 100 lessons created in our platform. Something must be working for that teacher in the platform. He's very interested in taking the platform to his classroom and to his students. Jose Guadalupe Castañeda Jaques, 174 lessons created from Mexico. So what you waiting for? All right. So remember that we are a community of teachers. We are a group of people creating lessons so that not only I can use that lesson, but all the people in the community can take a look at it and decide if that's the lesson that they want to show their students, or maybe do some changes, some editing on those lessons, and adapt them to what they need and what they want to show their students. As easy as that. So that's it. So we're going to do something very simple here. I'm going to start by entering the platform without a pro access. So I'm going to enter the platform with a free access user. All right. And you will see how the platform always shows you what you can do with the pro access. So let's do that. I'm going to sign in. I'm not going to enter with my typical credential, but I'm going to start with a Google account. So I'm going to use my secondary Google account. Um, and as easy as that, I'm already in the platform. All right. So these are all the different lessons that I have for me. All right. And some advertisement. First thing that we can do with TOMi.digital, we can avoid using ads. We can stop watching ads as we work. All right, very quickly, I just want to show you what happens if I click on this little button over here. It says Go Pro. This is going to show you what happens when you change from the free access to the pro access. All right, so as you can see, there's just an amount of $30 annually that you will pay annually if you want to be pro. But if you accept our challenge, if you are located in Africa and India at the moment, and if you start using the platform, register for the challenge, and create 3 lessons, just 3 or more, but if you create 3 lessons, we're going to grant you the pro access for 1 year. Yes, 1 year for you to use the platform in pro access. What are you going to get? In the free access, you can create as many lessons as you need. There's no limit for the lessons you create. You can present your lessons without limits. You can just go to the classroom and use your lessons, all the lessons that you have created, and lessons that other people have created. Maybe lessons that you have not created, but that have edited a little bit. There's no limit for that. You get some class report, but you get a basic class report. All right. You can find and use classes shared by other teachers. You can insert activities from the repository. There is a repository of thousands of activities that other teachers have created. So you not only are able to use other teachers' lessons, but you're also able to include some resources, some activities, specific activities from other lessons in your lesson. You can organize your activities in collections just to keep yourself organized. And you can present lessons without internet using a TOMi device. All right. So if you're interested in TOMi devices, there are some other videos here in the YouTube channel that show you a little bit of the TOMi 7, this little thing over here. This beautiful little thing over here. Uh, it's cool. Go ahead and look at it. I know you're going to love it. So you can also use that one, or you can buy some other TOMi devices. We have a small router that is called TOMi Play also that you can buy online, and you can use the platform without an internet connection. But this is not the topic that we're going to be covering today. So I'm just going to move on to show you what you can do with the Pro Access. If you're interested, remember you can also join our Telegram community. Just for the sake of getting some support, for the sake of sharing with other teachers directly, or for the sake of asking the team about the possibilities with the platform and with the devices. So if you want to be connected, just go ahead and join us. On the Pro, the Pro Access, you're going to be able to get all these benefits. So you get advanced reports per question and per student. I'll show you in a minute what that looks like. You can privatize your lessons. We are it's intended. What is intended here is that you share your lessons with the community, but we do understand that there are some cases in which the information may be a little bit not a secret, but it will be personal. Maybe your or maybe your lessons are definitely worth privatizing. So we can give you that possibility with the Pro Access. You can use some tools for during the presentation of the lessons. So what does that mean? That means that after you have created your lessons, You're going to be able, you're going to start presenting, playing those lessons to your students. But with the pro user account, you're going to be able to get some extra tools to use during the presentation of the lessons. You can do some random selection of students. You can do some brainstorming with your students. And you can also do some polls, some surveys to ask your students, the people attending the lesson, some questions directly. It's very cool. I'll just show you in a moment. You can use all question types, all right? In the free access, you get 12 different resources. There's one more that you get when you go pro. I'll show you in a minute. And also, you can remove all the ads. All right, so that's what you get when you become a pro user. All right, so let me just show you directly from the platform what you're going to get with a pro account. So first thing is no ads, no more things like this one over here, no more ads. That's the first thing. Some people are definitely willing to pay some extra just for removing the ads. So here you can get that and more. All right, if I take a look at one of my lessons, let me just show you. So I'm just gonna use this one over here. All right, if I start editing this lesson and I want to add a resource, I'm doing this very quickly because I suppose you already know about the platform, but if you haven't been to the platform before, it's just as easy as going to TOMi.digital and start surfing it. But also, I invite you to go to our YouTube channel and look for some of the live sessions that we have done on how to use the platform. There's going to be a bunch of videos there explaining how to use the platform, how to create lessons, how to use artificial intelligence, how to duplicate and edit lessons, and many more things. All right, so coming back, when I want to add a resource, I'm editing my lesson, and I want to add a resource, you're going to see over here that this special activity, this special resource is reserved for pro users. So what's the open-ended? I'll show you in a minute. All right, if I finish editing and I move on to my reports, some ads over here as well. So here's what you're going to find. You're going to find the possibility to see the reports of the students, all right? Something like this. I hope you're seeing this. But when you try and get a more expanded report, they're going to invite you to join the pro user. All right? So if you want to expand the information in the reports, you need to be a pro user. If you're going to download these reports, you can do it in PDF or in Excel file. But if you are going to download the students' reports individually in PDF or in an Excel file, you're going to need a pro access account. All right. So that's all the things that you're going to be you're going to find necessary to do with the pro account. So what I'm going to do is sign out. I'm going to sign in with my credentials, my information, and this account is a pro account. So first things first, once you create your lessons and you are granted the PIN to access as a pro user, you need to know how to enter the PIN in your account so that you get the pro access. So it's very easy. So just a matter of going over here, which is the users menu, right top, go to profile. What? Logging in again. There you go. All right, and it's going to say pin the subscription or subscription pin. All right, so it's just a matter of entering your pin over here, the one that we're going to grant you after you create your 3 lessons, and that's it. All right, over here you're going to get an information like this one. Subscription is Pro plus subscription. All right. And the temporality, it expires for me, it's December this year. All right. You're going to get it for 1 year, remember. Okay, that's it. So that's how you can enter the PIN to access the platform as a pro user. So now let's see what you can do with the pro user. So remember the different elements, remember the different things. So we're going to start with privatizing your lessons. All right, let's start with that. So I'm going to go to my lessons. I'm going to choose one of my lessons. This one's one that I was working on some days ago. All right, I'm gonna click on edit lesson, just like that. And then I'm going to go to the introduction of the lesson, which is this over here, this one over here on top. Okay, by clicking on lesson options, I'm going to be able to change the title of the lesson, the image. I'm going to be able to change the level of difficulty, the language, and I'm also going to be able to privatize my lesson by clicking here. It's just a matter of that. I'm going to save it, and now my lesson is private. Private means that no other teacher is going to be able to see this lesson. All right. Again, the idea of our platform is that we create a community and we share everything, but we do understand that for some teachers, privatizing lessons may be important due to the fact that they may be using some important information, some exclusive information, some personal information with your students. So we don't want that to be public, and that's when we may decide to privatize our lessons. Just as easy as that. All right. After that, after we have privatized our lesson, I want to move on to using all question types. Using all question types. So what is that? Basically, that when I click to add resource, as you can see, all the different types of questions are available for me, included the open-ended question. So what is an open-ended question? It's a very interesting element in which I'm going to be able to still interact with my students. But in this case, I'm not interacting with them because I want to mark the question correct or incorrect, but it's because actually I want to recall to get some information from them. So let's try and get a look at it. So once I click on open-ended question, I'm going to get this screen over here in which I can write the statement of the question. So basically what I'm going to ask them is just related to the topic, the water cycle. So I'm going to say, what forms do water and water get? Just like that. Remember that you can use special characters here as well if it's necessary. If you're a math teacher, if you're a phonetics teacher, or if you just want to embellish your questions with some special symbols. And remember also that you can include a picture, an image within your question here. I'm not going to do that. Just going to move on. I'm going to give them 30 seconds so they have enough time to type in their answer. I'm going to click on save. There you go. So the new resource, the new activity is going to go all the way to the end of the lesson, and that's it. I'm going to move it because I want to show it to you. I want to show what it looks like. So let me just move it to the beginning of the lesson. There you go. Here it is at the beginning of the lesson. I'm going to click on finish editing. And I'm going to use it as a student so that you can see what it looks like. Again, if you're seeing what I'm doing, you're saying like, what? How did you do that? Do not worry. There are going to be other workshops to explain everything related to the platform, but there has also been some other videos, some other live sessions, some other live workshops in which I have explained some of these. So you may want to go to our YouTube channel and look for those. All right, so let's play. There you go. It didn't show. It didn't show. I'm gonna skip it. Give me just a second. Maybe because I need to make sure that it's ready for its use. Here it is. Just by clicking on preview, it says, what forms can water get? And what your students are going to get is this box in which they can write pretty much everything that they want. Ice, liquid, steam, right? They can just enter as much information as they want. And then as a teacher, you're going to be able to retrieve this information, to get this information, and to use it for your specific purposes. This specific activity, this specific resource is not going to determine if the answer is correct or incorrect, because there's a different purpose for this one. So what you're doing here is allowing your students to contribute with the class. It's being able to check some previous information that your students have about the topic. All right, so you may want to do this in order to see if you need to start from the very beginning, or if you can actually do something very quick. If you're going to get if you can actually get some support from some of the students that already know a lot about this topic. If you just want to make them engage a little bit more and connect to the moment of the lesson by asking easy questions that they may be able to answer. So there's many different possibilities or many reasons for which you would like to include this activity in your lesson. So remember, open-ended question. There you go. So that would be another one of the possibilities with our Pro Access. The next one is the tools to use during the lesson. So there are 3 different tools that we can use during the lesson. The first one is random selection. The second one is a poll. And the third one is brainstorming. Random selection means that you're going to be able to choose randomly one of the students attending the lesson to ask them questions, maybe, or to ask them to complete something, or to give some feedback on whatever you're doing at the moment. Definitely important, definitely a good way to include your students and make them part of what they're doing at the moment. So that's definitely an important one. Like proposing a poll would be also a good way to collect information from them. A good moment to do that is, for example, when you notice that they are having difficulty, there's difficulty, that they're struggling with a specific portion of the information. So you may want to stop for a moment and ask them what they know about something. All right. I remember the other day I was teaching using TOMi Digital. I was teaching about deserts, and I noticed that most of them didn't know what a desert was, but some others had a very good idea of what it was. So what I did was just to use the poll and ask them, what deserts do you know? Some of them wrote nothing, which was okay for me. But some other wrote about different deserts that were actually near their homes or near their cities, or deserts that they had visited in the past. And it opened a possibility in order to get some experiences, personal experiences from them, that was very enlightening for all the students, and that actually took this topic to a better place. So definitely a good idea. I will show you how that works in a minute. And brainstorming is also a very powerful tool to use during the presentation of your lesson, because it means that you are stopping for a moment because you want to collect information from your students. In this case, because they all together are going to create something. All right, they're going to be able to create to make a construction digitally, online, but that the teacher is going to be able to manage and to organize in different parts of the screen, so that they can see that, and they are going to be able to reuse that information for later on in other questions, in other resources, other activities, or whatever you have planned for them. I want to stop for a moment because I want to say hi to all the people joining us. Hello, Abdul. Hello. It's very nice to have you all here. Definitely, our community is growing, and I'm very happy about it. Hello, Eric. Welcome. Always welcome. Yeah, thank you very much for being here. It makes it much more meaningful for me to be here with you. Cool. All right, so let me move on to the next part. I want to show you what it looks like when you are acting as a teacher. So let's go. I'm going to use the water cycle again. I'm going to play it as a teacher. Remember, when you play a lesson in TOMi.digital, you have two possibilities, and this is for both for free access and pro access. You can play the lesson right away, because that means that you are with your students, maybe not physically, but everybody's connected at the same time. So you're going to do it right away, and you're going to basically, what happens here is that it allows a code that your students can use to enter the class and to interact with you directly in the platform. Or you can schedule the lesson for later. That means that you're going to prepare everything, but it's your students individually who are going to be able to attend the lesson, complete the material, and be able to give you the responses for you to use in the reports, as reports, as evaluation, as assessment, or whatever you think is the purpose of this lesson. If you schedule your lesson, you can actually allow them to complete the lesson without an internet connection. And that's definitely very powerful and very useful for a lot of different teachers and institutions around the world. For the moment, I'm just going to go to play lesson. All right. That means that I'm here with you, and I'm going to ask the people that are here with me to join me, to help me out. So you're going to join me with this lesson. But let's give it just a minute so that it prepares. Hope it doesn't take very long. It is taking very long. Let me just go back and try again. Play lesson. There you go. This is how fast it should go. Once you play the lesson, so again, I have some settings that I can just make sure that I know what to do with them. So there's students log in. That means that your students need to be logged into the platform, but it's not absolutely necessary. It's just a good idea if you want to make sure that you know who is who. So you're going to be able to get full names and IDs and everything. But if it's not necessary, you can just leave it off. Competition mode, for some teachers, competition is not always healthy, so you can just like avoid using competition mode. That means that they are not going to have time limits, or they are not going to be scoring points or anything. There's not going to be a podium. But if you do want to use the competition mode, all those elements are definitely going to enhance your lesson. And the possibility to shuffle the answer options so that you can avoid copying between your students. So I'm going to click on continue. And over here, what you get is a website, an address where your students can go and enter this code. All right. So I'm just going to do it from my phone. I'm just going to act as if I were one of these students. You're all welcome to join this lesson. All right, the ones that are here at the moment. So I'm just going to play, TOMi play the TOMi.digital, and I'm gonna introduce the code, which is 366435. There you go. In my phone, it's asking me to choose an image and to write my name. There you go. I'm ready. And as I enter, as you can see, as a teacher, I can also check whoever is entering and accessing this specific lesson. So if you want to join, go ahead. You can join at any time. Students can just join in the middle of the lesson. It doesn't matter. It works with the same code and the same browser, the same URL anyway. But for the sake of doing this faster, I'm going to start the lesson now. All right, so what forms can water get? There you go. So on my phone, this is what's happening on my phone over here. I hope you can see that. So I can just enter. I'm going to write solid. All right. As a teacher, I get all the information that my students write over here, and I can start using that information for all the purposes. I'm going to click on next just to move on to the next question. What is the water cycle? Sorry, water cycle. So 3 possible questions. I'm going to choose one. Hopefully it's the correct one. Yes, the journey water takes around the earth. That's what the water cycle is. It's a way to define the water cycle. There's a true or false question here. Water can only be found in rivers and lakes. True or false? That is definitely false. All right, and this is a good moment to show you what I was talking about. The tools that you can use during the lesson, in the middle of the lesson, only if you have the pro access to the platform. So over here, to my right, you can see these options. The first one is students, and it shows you all the students that are being part of this lesson at the moment. The second one is the poll. So let's do that one. Okay, so very quickly, you can create a poll which contains of a statement. So let's say, for example, if water can only be found, if it's false that water can only be found in rivers and lakes, so what are other places in which water can be found? All right. So, for example, let's say, because this is a poll, so you're going to have specific answer options. All right. So let's say, for example, can water be found in the air? Water be found in the air? So I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to say no. All right. I'm not going to mark a correct answer. I'm not going to mark to use this for an evaluation. This is not going to be part of the report. This is just an extra tool that is going to enhance your lesson, to give you the possibility to stop for a minute, to recognize that there is a moment, an extra moment of learning that your students are asking for, or that you just came up with, and that is going to give you a slight change in the routine of the lesson, or in the dynamics of the lesson, right? So once I can add more options if you want, or avoid them. There's a minimum of 2 options here, and you just publish it. And once you publish, this is what I'm going to get as a student. I hope you can see it. All right. So this is the poll that I get as a student. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to mark yes. All right. And as you can see, the teacher is going to be able to see how many of your students think that water can be found in the air, and how many of your students think that water cannot be found in the air. So that is definitely useful information for the teacher to continue to move on with the lesson. All right. Let's say that a lot of people said yes. My students know that water can be found in other places. So let's try the brainstorming one. Okay. I'm going to use the brainstorming tool, and I'm going to write a topic. So places where water can be found. This is it. Okay, places where water can be found. My students are going to get something like this. Places where water can be found, and a canvas so that they can write those places they think the water can be found. They can actually change the color of the canvas over here just to make it more personalized if they want. And I'm going to write something here. I'm going to say the poles. There you go. And I'm going to click on send. It says my idea has been submitted. And as you can see, the teacher is getting the answers over here. Once you get the answers, you can start organizing those answers on the board, on the canvas that you have. And that is going to give you the possibility to create a different dynamic within the dynamics of the lesson. All right, so it's definitely more elements, more possibilities that TOMi wants to bring to you. The third one would be the random selection. All right, so just by clicking on this one, the platform is going to start selecting from all the attendees of the lesson. In this case, there's just one person in the lesson, which is this one. So of course, that's going to be the one chosen by the platform. But if you have different students, if you have a bunch of them, it's going to randomly select one. It's not only for asking a question that is going to make them feel worried or anything. It's also a good way to make sure that they are connected to the lesson, to make sure that they understand what's going on, to make sure that they to maybe to collect some other extra information, or to ask for elaboration on the answers. It also works well if you want to create teams very quickly, so you can just use the random selection many times, and that's going to give you the possibility to create teams quickly. Many different possibilities, and the sky is the limit. So it's up to you and your creativity what you can do with these options. I'm going to click on finish lesson. Sure, close board. Sorry, not finish lesson, close board. And as easy as that, I can return to the activity, to the lesson that I am teaching. So just moving on. What is evaporation? What is evaporation? Three options. As a student, I'm going to just choose one randomly. That was not correct. Anyway, what is condensation? I'm going to choose one very quickly over here. That one was correct. And I can just continue going with the lesson. It has 6 other resources, but I'm just going to click on finish lesson because there's one last thing that I want to show you. All right, so once I finish my lesson, I'm going to get a podium like this that is informing of the proficiency of my students, who has done best in terms not only of accuracy in the answer, but also how fast they answered. So there's always going to be a first position, a second position, and a third position. No matter if they answered the same question, the same answers, you're going to be able to see who answered faster. So there's always going to be a first position for them. But over here, you can see there's a button that says go to the report. If we click on it, this is going to take you to the report analysis. And over here, you're going to be able to see the reports. Remember that with the free access, you can also see the reports. But what you cannot do is to see the report individually like this, to expand. So by clicking here, you're going to be able to expand on the report, and you're going to be able to see all the questions and the answers that every one of your students chose for this lesson. So that's going to give you more possibilities to keep the record of your students. And if you go to download, in this case, you're going to be able to download lessons overviews All right. Or you're also going to be able to download students' reports. So that means that if you want to hand them out, hand the reports out, you can just do PDF, and you're going to be able to choose all the students that you want to, all the reports that you want to download. And it's just a matter of clicking on download and you're going to get them. Or you're going to be able to download all the reports of all the students that you choose over here in an Excel file, in one file, and you're going to be able to keep the record, or to put that report with other reports from other lessons and just create the follow-up for your students, or just use these lessons with different purposes. So this is all that you can do with the Pro Access in TOMi.digital. So I hope you feel okay with this explanation. If you do not, please go ahead and write a comment down this video. Even if you're watching this video in another time, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be I'm going to be checking these videos continuously, and just to make sure that you get the answers. Or if you want to get direct communication with me or with the team, just go ahead and join us in our Telegram account, in our Telegram group. I'm going to leave the link to enter the group in this comment. If not, you can just look for it on one of the emails for for example, the invitation email to this workshop. You're going to get the Telegram over there. So that was it. That's all I wanted to show you. That's all I wanted to share with you. I'm very happy to be here with you again. I'm going to be here many, many more times, because I am the person in charge of making sure that you are able to use our platform and our devices in the best possible way, and you're able to optimize your ideas with ICTs and with these type of skills that are definitely going to help you get some rest, get some extra time, and also to help your students connect with technology, connect with innovation in a very, very interesting way, in a much more engaging way. So let me know if there are other topics that you would like me to talk about. Let me know if there are some doubts, some elements that you would like to know more about TOMi.digital. But for the moment, just make sure that you join the challenge, register for the challenge, and start using our platform, create 3 lessons, and get the Pro access so that you can start using the platform in a much optimized way. So that's it for the moment. Remember, I'm Luis Enrique Vanegas, and I'm going to be here many more times. So join us for the next transmission. Have a good day, have a good teaching, and see you later. Bye. Remember to turn on the notification bell.